So this kid with some serious baggage totally stumbled upon a god-level class, but everyone just roasted him, claiming his life was toast. Why? Because the class he snagged was some super boring life skill gig. A butcher, stuck forever in the land of sausage and bacon. But here's the twist in his mind. Every last one of those pigs looked like a squealing pig-headed monster. Meanwhile, at the Ching Chong First People's Hospital, Yichuan was sitting across from this lady doctor who had rimless glasses that looked like they'd seen better days. The summer heat was so brutal her white coat was practically soaked and you could kind of make out her silhouette. After taking a gander at Yichuan's chart, the doc frowned hard, giving him the ultimate side-eye. So you're saying every living thing you see looks like a pig, even me? Yep, Yichuan said with a nod. What a cute kid. It's such a tragedy, she thought. Then the doc unbuttoned her white coat, flung it open, and leaned right into his bubble. And now what's the verdict? 2 pigs, he deadpanned. Her jaw nearly hit the floor. She sped through the rest of his physical like she was on a caffeine high. Then she scribbled on his chart. Physical functions are normal, but he's got 0 charm with older women. I mean, duh. If every girl's looking like a pig to you, it'd be beyond weird if you were into it. Okay, I think I get the picture, the doctor sighed, staring down at the scan in her hand. Your spine is seriously jacked up. She snatched a plastic spine model from her desk and pointed it out. Check this out. It's super deformed and pressing on the nerves to your brain and eyes. That's pretty much why everyone looks like a pig to you. The only way to fix this is surgery, but it's a total gamble. If it flops, you could end up paralyzed from the neck down for life. Yichuan just stared at the pig-headed doc in front of him and gave a little nod like he was only half paying attention. He extended his hand. Hey doc, are we done yet? Because I'd like my spine back now. The doctor just froze in place, then scribbled on his chart with a look that screamed conflicted mental condition seriously not normal. A little while later, Yichuan was out of the hospital and on a bus back to school for as long as he could remember. Everyone looked like a pig. Call it a quirky illness or whatever, but it never really messed with his daily life. Well, except when it came to the dating scene. Because let's be honest, Yichuan wasn't some weirdo who was all about the pigs. He was really hoping to sort this whole thing out before the class change ceremony, but yeah, that ship had clearly sailed. By the time Yichuan got back to Chingchong High, this tall, pretty girl came bolting over. Yichuan, you finally made it. I was stressing. If you were any later, I swear I would have knocked you out. Suling Xuan puffed out her cheeks, trying to look mad, while shaking her tiny pink fist. But to Yichuan, she just resembled a pink pig standing on 2 legs, waving its little hooves. All around them, you could hear people whispering and giggling. There goes Suling Xuan glued to Yichuan again. They're always parading their whole childhood sweethearts thing. Grew up together, basically attached. I bet they'll tie the knot the minute the class change ceremony wraps up. Hearing the teasing, Suling Xuan's face turned an even deeper shade of red, but she stayed glued to Yichuan's side, looking up at him with pure admiration, like he gave her the confidence of 1,000 sons. Yichuan felt totally creeped out. I mean, if you were getting gawked at lovingly by a pig, you'd probably feel the same way. Attention, get in line according to your student numbers. The awakening ceremony is about to kick off now. The principal's strict voice echoed. In the middle of the square stood this massive dark crystal glittering with colors like a freaky night sky. So in this world, there are 3 big stats: strength, agility, and spirit. The higher your stats are, the better your chances of snagging a high-tier class. Landing in advanced combat class was like finding a cheat code for life, a total game changer. The first kid stepped up looking like a deer in headlights with nerves and excitement. After a heartbeat of silence, the awakening crystal flickered with a faint white glow. Life class profession, intermediate fitter. Principal Xiao Ming just shook his head slowly while announcing it. The student slowly sank to the ground, looking utterly crushed. The second student stepped up. Life class profession, low-level engineer. Then the third, then the fourth. More than 20 kids in a row got nothing but life skill classes. But at long last, when the 24th student stepped up, the awakening crystal erupted with this brilliant gold light. Principal Xiao Ming's eyes went wide with excitement. A golden glow. This was a rare class. Even if it was a life class, that kid could be raking in tens of thousands a month after graduation, which is way more than your average Joe. But when Xiao Ming saw the actual class, he was ready to burst. Combat profession, rare class, Shadowless Bladesman student, what's your name? His eyes were practically on fire with excitement. With a rare combat class, this kid was basically a lock for Ching Chung High's legendary alumni list. Principal, my name is Lu Jinglong. Lu Jinglong. What a stellar name. Go take a breather for now. Later, I'm personally coming over to chat with your folks about your future. Xiao Ming gave him a warm pat on the shoulder. Thank you, Principal. Lu Jinglong's voice was shaking with excitement, and he knew from that moment on, his life would never be the same. The awakening ceremony kept rolling, and it wasn't long before it was Yichuan's turn. You've got this, Yichuan. Suling Xuan cheered, her cheeks as pink as a pig. Yichuan took a deep breath and stepped onto the altar, although he had a gnawing feeling he'd just end up with another boring life class gig. But he was clinging to one tiny glimmer of hope. Your average Joe only boasted like 3 stat points total, but his stats were off the charts at a wild 10 more than 3 times the usual. Maybe a miracle was about to drop like it was Black Friday. The second Yichuan touched that awakening crystal, a bonkers tower of blood-red light blasted into the sky. The whole crowd just flipped out, gasping and whispering like it was a gossip session at a coffee shop. Red light. What does that even rank as? I have no idea. All I know is legendary is black epic is purple rare is yellow. And everything else is just plain old white. Principal Xiao Ming's jaw almost hit the floor. God tier. No way. It's actually God tier. Our Ching Hai just hit the jackpot with a God tier class. Old man, Xiao Ming had been around forever and had never seen anything even close to a legendary. And now, just as he was ready to retire, fate dropped a God tier awakening right in his lap. Finally, the universe cut him a break. He was probably already daydreaming about a promotion before he bounced. But when Xiao Ming finally figured out Yichuan's actual class, he just froze. A life class. A God tier asterisk butcher asterisk. He gritted his teeth, fighting to breathe, his chest feeling like a soda can about to pop. A God tier profession, and it just had to be a life class, a freaking asterisk butcher asterisk. Was the universe seriously yanking his chain now? Even life class God tiers were practically priceless. God tier blacksmiths, healers, alchemists, the types that every combat class would be licking boots for. But a butcher, who the heck is going to brown nose a pig killer? A God tier butcher is still, at the end of the day, just a butcher. It's like throwing glitter on a beat up old car. No matter how much sparkle you add, it's never going to outrun a brand new model. Yichuan, Principal Xiao Ming let out a massive sigh. The bigger the hype, the harder the crash. He really thought Yichuan was going to be a miracle, but nope, he was just this year's punchline. Yichuan, though, completely unfazed. The Hokage's kid becomes the next Hokage. A general's kid follows in the family business. The scapegoat's kid. Well, still the scapegoat. So yeah, the butcher's son becoming a butcher. Makes all the sense in the world. He just checked his stats. Talent, Swinebane, Divine Butcher's Blade. Skill, Blood Shadow Butcher. Swinebane deals plus 50% damage to pigs. Every pig you take down cranks up. The bonus by another 1%. Damage from pigs gets halved. Divine Butcher's Blade lets you choose a weapon to be your special slicing knife. Every pig you take out with it gives you plus 0.1 free stat points. Blood Shadow Butcher. Unleash a vibe that terrifies pigs into total submission for 1 second. After scrolling through his skills, even he asterisk was a little stunned. A God tier butcher was actually kind of crazy. He literally got 2 talents that could level up forever. If he stacked Swinebane and Divine Butcher's Blade, it wouldn't matter how tough the pig was. It'd probably go down in 1 hit. The catch? It all only worked on pigs. Suddenly, Yichuan figured maybe going a little nuts wasn't such a bad idea. The world was filled with pigs, and it was open season. He strolled off the altar, his face as cool as a cucumber. You could feel it all, the shock, the disgust, the jokes, the pity, the glad it's not me vibes all piercing through him like darts. To pull a God tier class just to end up as a butcher. The gap between the hype and the reality was hard to swallow. Tisk. And here I was, thinking Shanghai was about to get a genuine hero. Guess it's just a pig sticker. Lu Jinglong snickered, totally relishing every second of this. Seriously? All that hype for a butcher? What a joke. Jinglong, you're the real deal here at Ching Chong High. His crew immediately jumped on the bandwagon. Hey, it's cool, Yichuan. Scoring a God tier butcher just means you're following in your dad's footsteps. I bet Uncle Y is super proud. And my dad's gonna be thrilled too. While everyone else was throwing shade, Su Lingxian stood on her toes and gave Yichuan a gentle pat on the head. Yichuan just nodded calm as a stream. He and Su Lingxian were neighbors, and with both their parents being life class pros, they'd been dropping hints like it was a hot potato about setting the two of them up. Too bad that in Yichuan's mind, Su Lingxian had basically looked like a pig since they were little, and he just couldn't get himself to crush on one. My turn, Yichuan. You think I'll get Mom's tailor class or Dad's brewer class? Su Lingxian asked, sticking out her tongue playfully, before she bounced toward the awakening altar. The second her foot hit the altar, something crazy went down. A massive pillar of thick black light shot into the sky, casting a shadow that could hide the sun. In a split second, the whole noisy playground went dead silent. Jaws dropped, eyes widened, and you could hear a pin drop until one person's shout shattered the silence. A legendary class. Somebody actually pulled a legendary class. Principal Xiao Ming's jaw hit the floor for the second time as he gawked at the light, completely speechless. You've got to be kidding me. First, a junk tier god class, and now. Please don't let this be some junk tier legendary. Xiao Ming's heart felt like it was about to burst. Everyone there was just dumbfounded. First a god tier, and now a legendary. Qing Shanghai was seriously making history this year. Every single eye was glued to the girl standing under the black light. Su Lingxian, who was already a knockout, now had this insane, mysterious aura, thanks to the black glow, making it impossible to look away. Combat profession, legendary tier, Frost, Soul Sword, Immortal. Xiao Ming's face flushed bright red. He was so pumped he almost leaped from his seat. How long had it been since Ching Chong had seen a legendary combat class forget legendary? Even an epic combat class would have been a massive deal for the whole city. Su Ling. But seriously, both her parents are like top-tier pros. Is this some sort of wild awakening mutant thing? Xiaoing zoomed over. Su Ling Xian, don't sweat it. Ching Xing Hai's got your back 100%. Thanks, Principal. Su Ling Xian offered a polite little grin, bowed her head, and just glided off the stage. In that moment, every single student in the school was gaping at her. No doubt about it, she was the superstar now. Still, no one dared to approach her, because they all knew that from now on, Su Ling Xian's life and theirs were on completely different tracks that would never ever cross paths. Congrats, Yichuan clapped with a grin, genuinely happy for her. Yichuan. Su Ling Xian's eyes had this strange tangled look, something you couldn't quite put your finger on. Look, I know we've had our spats before, but from now on, those are in the rearview mirror. We're not even in the same league anymore. Everyone's heads whipped around to Yichuan, their faces a mix of shock and secondhand anxiety. A god-tier butcher and a legendary fighter. Childhood sweethearts Donazo in a hot second. Life really is a crazy ride. Suddenly, all the kids who only had life class awakenings felt a bit better about their lives. At least they weren't getting dumped as harshly as Yichuan. Alright, Yichuan just nodded, playing it cool. But to Su Ling Xian and the rest, it looked like he was just trying to act tough after totally breaking down inside. I know this must hit hard for you, but you're just a butcher. You're not going to be anything special. Don't get mad at me. Her voice turned soft, almost pitying as she looked at him. If you're cool with it, then this is it. I really hope you don't plan on getting all clingy about this. I'll take care of my parents. She averted her gaze. In her mind, ripping that band-aid off now was a lot better than letting Yichuan get any wild ideas. Yichuan was left speechless. A pig telling Asterisk not to be clingy. Seriously, he just turned and walked away without a glance back, low-key, relieved to be done with this stubborn girl. Su Ling Xian need me to put him in his place. Show him who's boss. Lu Jinglong's eyes lit up as he stepped forward eagerly. He was thinking if he could team up with Su Ling Xian with her legendary combat class and his rare one, they'd be legends in no time. But when Su Ling Xian totally brushed him off, which was super awkward, Lu Jinglong aimed all that annoyance at Yichuan instead. Hey, butcher boy, get over here. Yichuan was totally zoned out thinking about where to find his next pigs to take down, so he didn't even notice Lu Jinglong. Seeing himself ignored like he was invisible, Lu Jinglong's eyes narrowed, filled with pure annoyance. Some random butcher thought he could just brush him off. He was already steamed at Yichuan for stealing his afternoon shine. Now he had totally lost it. I'm talking to you. What are you, deaf? You think you can just stroll away? Not happening. His voice had a seriously creepy vibe. Move. Yichuan looked up, giving the pig face in front of him a cool glare, and that one look sent a spine-tingling chill down Lu Jinglong's back like he was staring down a predator. His body flinched, and he stumbled back a few steps before crashing down to the ground. In that moment, he felt like a pig on the chopping block, just waiting for the axe to drop. Lu Jinglong's face flushed beet red, and he absolutely lost it. He literally just got punked out and spooked down by a freaking butcher. You're pathetic. You think you can just look at me like that? You're just some guy who slaughters pigs. Who do you think you are? Foaming, Lu Jinglong lunged, swinging a heavy punch right at Yichuan's face. It was a full power swing. He was leaving nothing on the table. Yichuan was ice cold. No dodging, no hesitating. He just threw his own punch back, banking on his insane stats. Why would he be scared of Lu Jinglong? With the Swinebane boost, Yichuan's hit got powered up big time, while Lu Jinglong's punch got nerfed to half. The moment their fists collided, crack. You could hear the bone snap. The crazy look on Lu Jinglong's face froze. He totally didn't see that coming. Screaming, he staggered back, his fist bent at a weird angle, all kinds of busted. No way, you're just a butcher. He was sweating bullets, his face pale like a ghost. He just couldn't wrap his head around it. I mean, everyone knows life classes can beef you up. Sure, but compared to combat classes, their skills are basically useless in a real fight. Even at the same level, you could have like 10 life class kids, and they still wouldn't take down one fighter. I'm a butcher. I've got strong hands. Makes sense, right? Yichuan replied, stone-faced. Lu Jinglong was about to lose it. Yichuan, I'm gonna kill you! With a furious shout, he whipped out his special weapon, the Void Longblade. This baby can slice through steel like it's butter, so get over here and beg, or don't say I didn't warn you. But in the blink of an eye, Lu Jinglong's Void Longblade was suddenly frozen over like ice solid. He started icing over himself, too unable to move at all. It was Su Ling Xian. She stepped in. Knock it off. I don't want you two bickering over me. Yichuan, you see what's up now, right? We're not in the same world anymore. This is the last time I'm saving you. Get out of Ching Xing Hai. If Lu Jinglong comes after you again, I won't lift a finger to help. From now on, we're done. And with that, she just spun on her heels and left. Yichuan listened to all this totally bewildered. Okay, if we're done, I guess I'm just heading home. Then cut to Yichuan strolling home solo, and then out of nowhere, He was totally blocked by some spoiled rich lady's furball, but to Yichuan it was just a hefty little porker barking on the sidewalk with its tiny piglet. "Hey there, ma'am. You planning to leash your little piglet? Oops, my bad. I meant your pet." But all he got back was a righteous scream fest from a classic Karen. "Do you own this street or something? I'll stroll wherever the heck I want." Hearing this, Yichuan just sighed. "Well, if that's how it's gonna roll, don't come crying to me when things go south. I'm literally one taco short of a combo platter. You think I'm terrified of you?" And with that, he launched the lady's dog into the stratosphere. The rich woman dropped to her knees, sobbing, "My baby!" "Don't scare mommy like this." System alert. Took out one small pig. Level increases by 0.1%. Swinebane bonus damage plus 1%. Catching the system notification, Yichuan's eyes went wide with excitement. "No way it actually works. This system is just as wild as I am." The furious woman absolutely lost it and lunged at him, shrieking, "You monster! How dare you take out my son picking on an old lady? I'll make you regret this." Yichuan calmly pulled out his official "I'm certified crazy" papers. "We all good, because if not, I'm bouncing." The rich lady just froze, staring down a real-life lunatic. If he got rid of her dog, or heaven forbid her too, it would all be pointless. In the next instant, she plastered on a ridiculously fake sugary smile. "No worries at all, I was just passing through. Toodles, young man," and cue the scene change. Yichuan got back home. To his surprise, when his parents learned he'd awakened as a butcher, they weren't even slightly concerned. "Son being a butcher isn't bad. Now you can really step up and take over your dad's gig." Time zoomed by, and it was late at night. While Yichuan was deep in dreamland, a creepy figure loomed outside his parents' bedroom window. Then his dad's voice sliced through the silence. "Now that my son has become just a regular butcher, I'm begging you to leave our family be." The shadow let out a chilling laugh. "That's a shocker. You sure he's really your kid?" Those words sent his dad into a tizzy. "I'm only going to say this one last time. Don't return, or you won't like what goes down." Seeing how livid he was, the figure quickly made itself scarce. "Whoa, take it easy. If your son is just a butcher, the organization won't bother you anymore." With that, the shadow melted away into the darkness. Fast forward to the next day at the slaughterhouse. So Yichuan's dad brought him in to learn the family trade. The very first task, selecting the right butcher's knife. Yichuan's eyes zeroed in on the blade gleaming in the center. The very moment he picked it up, a system alert chimed, "Butcher's knife selected. Divine Butcher's blade activated. Every pig you slay with this bad boy gives you plus 0.1 free attribute points." For a butcher, step 1 was mastering the mighty blade. A hefty pig stood before him, squealing in pure panic. From behind, his dad calmly coached him, "Give it a whirl. See if you can nail its weak spot in one go." With a flash of steel, Yichuan scored his first hit. The pig flailed for a moment before going utterly still. Lights out. System alert. Took down one ordinary pig with the butcher's knife. Level up 1%. Swinebane bonus damage plus 1%. Free attribute plus 0.1. Even his dad was shocked. For a first attempt, it was definitely impressive, even if it wasn't a perfect shot. If you'd hit the carotid artery in the neck, that would have been an instant kill. Yichuan nodded, dead serious. His dad ruffled his hair. "Son, I know hacking up pigs probably seems super lame at your age, but it's how our family makes our bread." But Yichuan, amped up to level up, jumped in. "Let me handle all the pigs in the pen." Hearing that, his dad beamed with pride. "That's my boy. From now on, I can leave the pigs to you, no sweat." And just like that, with every swing of his blade, Yichuan kept chopping those pigs down. And his level soared like a rocket. He didn't rest until the entire pen was totally empty. System alert. 49 pigs taken down. Swinebane bonus damage plus 100%. Attributes boosted. From 10 to 15 at his current level. Apprentice Tier 5. Staring at the rows of carcasses hanging, another butcher joked, "Looks like your kid's got a serious thing for pig slaying. He just whizzed through a whole week's work in a single day." Yichuan's dad puffed out his chest proudly. "You better believe it. My son is the ultimate butcher." Gazing at the blade in his hand, Yichuan thought to himself. Now that he'd completely mastered the butcher's knife, it was time to venture into the world. This place was totally crawling with monsters. Countries were old news. Humanity was united under the Human Federation. Split into 9 special zones. Ching Cheng was right on the border of the 5th zone. The next day, Yichuan loaded up his gear and got ready to hunt some monsters outside the city walls. At the gate, a guard stopped him. "You're a life class profession. Outside the city, you can only wander about 1 kilometer. Any further, and you'll be in big trouble." "Got it." Yichuan didn't say a peep, just nodded quickly. A few seconds after he entered the forest, he heard a rustling sound in the bushes behind him. A gnarly goblin wielding a dagger jumped out. Yichuan instantly activated Blood Shadow Butcher. The goblin froze, paralyzed by his killer aura for a moment. Yichuan seized the moment, swinging his butcher's knife. One swift strike, and it was lights out. System alert. Goblin pig taken down, level up 5%. Swinebane bonus damage plus 1%. Free attribute plus 0.1. Heck, called it. Wild pigs give way better EXP than farm pigs. At this pace, I'll hit max level in no time. Just then, a dozen pairs of glowing red eyes flickered in the darkness, all fixated right on him. "Come on out and play my little piggies." A whole gang of goblins let out ear-piercing shrieks and came barreling toward Yichuan like it was Halloween. He just swung his blade like he was chopping veggies, and each swing sent one of them to the grave. Within a blink, a whole bunch of them were already face down in the dirt. To him, this was as easy as slicing bacon on a Sunday morning. Soon enough, there was just one goblin left, quaking in its boots. "Oh, look, a little piglet, time for you to join the rest of your pals." The goblin totally flipped out and bolted. Yichuan just followed it like a silent shadow. He ended up in front of a pitch-black cave. "Well, looks like we found the goblin family reunion." Ear-splitting screams echoed from inside as one by one the goblins hit the floor. System alert. Profession Supreme Butcher, level Apprentice Tier 6. Swinebane bonus porker smashing damage plus 120%. Just then, a muffled whimper reached his ears. Yichuan turned to see it came from behind a wooden door. With a swift kick, he booted the door down like it was a piñata. The scene inside made him pause for just a hot second. A girl was all tied up shivering like a wet cat on the ground, and next to her, two baby goblins were wailing like they just lost their favorite toy, crying for milk. The girl's eyes filled with tears as she locked onto Yichuan, her expression practically broadcasting, "Save me, please." Yichuan didn't say a word. He just brandished his butcher knife. The girl thought she was a goner. You could practically see the despair shouting from her face. But instead, Yichuan's blade came crashing down on the two baby goblins, and they were gone in a heartbeat, in one smooth motion. He sliced through the ropes binding the girl. "Relax, all the goblins are toasted." Realizing they were all vanquished, the girl practically leapt into Yichuan's arms, utterly overwhelmed with relief. "Thanks a million for saving me. I was so close to being, well, you know." Yichuan just replied flatly, "I didn't come here for heroics." The girl didn't take the hint and kept chatting. "You took out all of those? That's seriously nuts." You must be some sort of combat master, right? What's your name?" After they left the cave, Yichuan pointed her down the road back to the city. But for some odd reason, she started quietly tailing him. Yichuan whipped out his butcher knife and demanded, "Why are you still following me? Are you a goblin in disguise?" Startled, the girl hurried to explain that she was terrified of heading back on her own. She introduced herself, saying her name was Sia. She was trying to snag a blood moon flower for her mom's birthday when she got gobbled up by those little green monsters. "Hey, what if we strike a deal?" she suggested. "If you help me grab that blood moon flower, I'll get Ching Ching's top blacksmith to whip you up a killer new blade." "The best blacksmith in Ching Ching. Does she have any idea what that would run?" "Just turn around and go home. Stop clinging to me, or I swear I'll slice you up myself." Sia sulked, rolling her eyes and mumbling to herself, "I'm a solid 10, and this guy's putting up walls. Is he missing a few screws or what?" She hurried to catch up. "Do you even know who I am? My dad is Bihai." Yichuan froze for a sec. Sia Bihai, the big cheese of the Sea Clan, one of Ching Ching's elite families. A Tier 9 master, just one step shy of Grandmaster. If she was legit with his assets, he could have 10 top-notch butcher knives forged easily. Suddenly, Yichuan's expression flipped, sporting a super slick grin. "Oh, really?" Sia proudly brandished a token. "This is the Sia family's protection charm. Dad gave it to me. Even a Tier 9 fighter couldn't lay a finger on me." "But those goblins were sneaky. They nabbed me just because they ambushed me. If they hadn't caught me all off guard, I would have been fine." Yichuan, however, couldn't care less about her whole saga. His eyes were locked on the token, examining it intently before nodding and concluding it was a true blue Sia family treasure. "All right, I believe you. I'll help you find the blood moon flower, and you'll score me a top-tier blade." Sia quickly shot her hand out. "Deal." Then she whipped out a map. "This is where the blood moon flower grows, but there's a nasty blood moon python guarding it. Super dangerous. My intel says that snake is stronger than a Tier 9 apprentice, so I'm not sure you can handle it." But all he cared about was, "I've never seen a python before. I wonder if it has a pig-like head too. Come on, let's get moving. I'm actually stoked." Sia nearly stumbled in disbelief. Did he catch a word of what I just said? She thought. Yet if he could wipe out a whole goblin crew solo, he must be some kind of god-tier fighter. For some reason, though he carried this bizarre aura like both totally dependable and wildly unpredictable at once. As they continued onward, a silver-horned rhino showed up looking as tough as a Tier 8 apprentice. Sia quickly suggested, "Let's just sneak past it. No point in picking a dumb fight." But Yichuan stepped right up without batting an eye. Pointing at the rhino, he hollered, "If you're munching grass today, you'll be munching on people tomorrow. Can't let you stick around." Sia was absolutely floored by his jumbled logic. What kind of reasoning is that?" Yichuan gripped his butcher knife and charged right at the silver-horned rhino. The beast realized it was in deep trouble instantly, but after a couple of flashing blade moves, the rhino was crashing down to earth lifeless. Sianan's eyes went wide. "Am I seeing things?" He took out a beast as strong as a Tier 8 apprentice with a single hit. No way this guy is that OP. Meanwhile, his system chimed. "Level up. Apprentice Tier 7. Silver-horned pig taken down. Swinebane bonus damage plus 122%. He glanced at his butcher knife now, chipped, pondering, "How much longer can this blade even hold up?" Just then, Sianan rushed over desperate to find out what his profession was. How could you drop a beast like that in one hit? When she found out, is this blade even going to stick around? Just then, Sianan dashed over absolutely buzzing with curiosity about what his job was. How on earth did you take down a beast that strong in a single swing? When she discovered the truth, the thought that he was just some regular meat guy. Yeah, she wasn't buying that one. No way some average Joe could pull that off. To keep Nan from pestering him about it, Yichuan just shrugged and peeled off the rhino's horn like he was unwrapping a candy bar, saying, "Relax, this thing was already a goner. That's why it went down so easily." And with how chill he seemed, Nanan actually bit into that tall tail. So she told Yichuan that the blood moonflower was nearby and led him further into the woods. Meanwhile, the principal was stomping through that same area with Su Ling Xian and Lu Jinglong trailing behind like lost puppies. "This field training has been a smashing success," the principal declared proudly. "You've all made me proud." Lu Jinglong was grinning like a Cheshire cat, thinking that with just a smidgen more time alone with Su Ling Xian, she'd be swooning over him. But then the principal caught this bizarre noise behind them. Snap! Everyone turned their heads in unison, and out of the trees emerged two figures. When they recognized it was Yichuan with some random girl, Lu Jinglong scoffed and mumbled, "This ain't a spot for losers like you." But Yichuan just fired back, no sweat at all, just passing through. Then this girl in a bright yellow outfit just had to say something, acting like she was the queen of everything. "Passing through, get real. You're just obsessed with Sister Ling Xian following her around like a lovesick puppy." You could see Su Ling Xian totally bought into it. She shot him a look of pure disgust. "I told you before we're not equals. Let me spell it out again. Stop annoying me." Yichuan's fists clenched, and he was really trying hard not to blow up at this oblivious girl. Meanwhile, Lu Jinglong was chuckling to himself. The last time Yichuan totally made him look like a fool in front of Su Ling Xian. This time he was ready for revenge. He burst into laughter like a maniac and hollered, "Yichuan, just the meathead I was looking for. Can't believe you were silly enough to waltz right up to me." Then he drew his weapon, and the blade had this seriously wicked glow. One of his little minions gasped, "Whoa, that's a yellow-grade low-tier spirit weapon. The real deal." Even the principal nodded, looking impressed that in just 2.5 days, Lu Jinglong had managed to upgrade his weapon to a spirit weapon. With his Tier 4 apprentice power, he could practically go toe-to-toe with a Tier 6. Su Ling Xian flashed her typical haughty expression and said coldly, "Yichuan, I warned you. Leave Jinglong alone. This time I'm not coming to your rescue." Nanan got all jittery and whispered, "So do you have like some serious drama with these guys?" But Yichuan completely brushed her off and asked super chill, "So, a yellow-grade low-tier spirit weapon, what's that worth?" Nanan blinked, totally confused. Maybe 100 to 200,000 tops. Dude, do you even realize what's about to go down?" And then all of a sudden, there was this ear-piercing screech of metal clashing. Lu Jinglong's weapon came crashing down on Yichuan. Yichuan whipped out his butcher knife and blocked it like it was no biggie. The principal's eyes popped wide open like, how did he just pull that off? But as Lu Jinglong put more muscle into the swing, the butcher knife finally couldn't stand the strain from the spirit weapon and just snapped clean into. Lu Jinglong's ego inflated as he sneered, called it, "You're nothing but a filthy meat chopper. Get on your knees and plead now. And maybe I'll let you walk away." The principal knew a normal blade was basically confetti against a spirit weapon, but he didn't even twitch to stop it. Yichuan had stirred the pot with the wrong crowd, but Yichuan casually tossed the broken knife aside and said, "Icy cold, to take you down. I don't even need a weapon." Lu Jinglong's face darkened. This fool still wasn't catching on. He let out a roar and brought his weapon crashing down. Yichuan met it with a single punch. A heartbeat later, his fist slammed straight into Lu Jinglong's gut. The guy went flying backward, landing like a sack of potatoes, and skidded into the middle of everyone. Gasps echoed around. Even the principal was totally at a loss for words. This was the so-called prodigy who could go up against a Tier 6 apprentice, and he just got demolished with one punch. His little sidekick rushed over to try to haul him up. Lu Jinglong mumbled that he was fine, but he was grinding his teeth desperately trying not to faint. Passing out now would make him a total laughingstock. That's when the principal stared at Yichuan. You could see a wild idea brewing in his head, and then everyone heard him say, totally stunned, "Yichuan, are you telling me you're already a Tier 7 apprentice?" Yichuan just casually bent down and picked up the yellow-grade low-tier spirit weapon that Lu Jinglong dropped. Not bad. Definitely tougher than my butcher knife. All the students around them were completely shook that Yichuan had already hit Tier 7. I mean, even Su Ling Xian was only a Tier 6. The principal jumped in trying to make sense of it. It's possible. Even though life class and combat class jobs run on the same tier system, how they level up is totally different. Combat types have to endure insane training up front, and they earn XP only by brawling nonstop. That's why they're usually kind of slow to level up at first. But once they break past that, they start leveling up like crazy. Life professions, on the flip side, have it way easier at the start. Just look at alchemists or blacksmiths. They don't have to throw punches at all. They just sharpen their skills and their levels shoot up. Then the principal added, and Yichuan is like a top-notch butcher. His family runs a whole pig farm. He's probably taken down a whole bunch in just the last 2 days. Leveling up quickly in the beginning is totally normal for his class. Hearing that, it finally clicked for Su Ling Xian. Oh, I get it. But still, doesn't that seem a tad unfair to the combat types? No biggie, the principal reassured. Life class gigs only get trickier to level up as you go. They'll be grinding pigs like it's a new Olympic sport just to move up. But deep down, he was totally doubting his own words. Mostly, he was just trying to chill the students out. Honestly, he'd never witnessed a life class level up this quick before. Figuring there was no point in hanging around, Yichuan was about to peace out. But then, Su Ling Xian had to open her mouth all high and mighty. Yichuan, why are you even bothering all this pig grinding and leveling up? Is it just to get my attention? I'm already a lock for Scarich Academy. Soon enough, you'll be way out of my league. Ugh, can you not be so obsessed? Yichuan was left speechless. And what's that even got to do with me? I'm just thrilled to be done dealing with a stubborn girl like you. Only a pig would like another pig. Nanan, who had heard enough, finally stepped in. She wasn't about to let them treat Yichuan like that. Yichuan was helping me hunt down the blood moonflower, while you clueless dingbats are wasting time. Nearby, another girl whispered her own wild theory. No way the loser Su Ling Xian already found a new girl that quick. Hey, new girl, here's a pro tip: steer clear of this nobody, or else your future's gonna be all about farming pigs with him. Nanan was over it. With 0 patience left, she just unleashed a slap. That one slap somehow managed to hit all 5 of their faces at once, sending them reeling back. Nobody saw that multi-target slap coming. The principal looked totally betrayed. What did I even say? Why'd I get caught in the crossfire? Su Ling Xian, who'd never been hit in her life, completely lost it. She spat, "You are so dead. You're gonna be sorry for that slap." Nanan knew she couldn't win a fair fight, so she played her secret card. The principal's eyes bugged out when he spotted the token. He scrambled to intervene. You can't mess with her. That's the oldest daughter of the Sia family. His entire demeanor shifted in a heartbeat, flipping to this super fake buttering up smile as he turned to Nanan. Miss Sia, this is all a colossal misunderstanding. Please be the bigger person and let it slide. Nanan's tone was as frosty as ice. Principal Xiao. How do your students act so poorly? I don't care what she said to me, but she needs to apologize to Yichuan. Su Ling Xian was grinding her teeth, absolutely furious, but she knew better than to speak up. The principal shot her a death glare, so she begrudgingly mumbled a sorry to Yichuan. But in her mind, she was already plotting sweet revenge against the Sia family. This isn't the end. I will make you pay 100 times over. Yichuan shrugged it off like it was nothing. Whatever, no biggie. Without another word, he grabbed Nanan and was ready to ditch the whole drama. Meanwhile, in the corner, Lu Jinglong suddenly remembered his spirit weapon. Give me back my Qing Feng blade. But Yichuan totally dismissed him. You want it? Come and try to take it. In the end, all Lu Jinglong could do was watch helplessly as Yichuan strutted away, pure hatred burning in his eyes. Ugh, freaking pig butcher. This isn't over. The scene shifts, and now Yichuan and Nanan find themselves in the Blood Moon Python's territory. Nanan glanced down at the map in her hand. Yep, this has got to be the place. We should probably tread lightly now. Just then, Yichuan equipped the snatched Qing Feng blade like it was his personal butcher knife. A system notification pinged. You have selected your exclusive butcher's knife. Godslayer's Edge is now activated. Every pig you take down with this blade grants you a bonus of 2/10 of a free attribute point. At that moment, Yichuan was shocked when Nanan pulled out 2 orbs, one red and one blue from inside her shirt. He pointed a bit curious. What's that magic pocket? And what are those things? Nanan replied, they're Thunderfire orbs. Even a tier 9 fighter would be seriously toast if they weren't expecting it. When the Blood Moon Python strikes, these are essentially our escape cards. Since they were for emergencies, Yichuan didn't probe further. Instead, he thought he'd go scout the area solo. He jumped and landed right at the entrance to the Blood Moon Python's lair. In surprise, the cave's mouth was jammed with blood moon flowers. And not just any flowers, but the rare twin bloom kind. My luck is insane, he thought. But just then, Nanan's eyes went wide with fear, staring right past him. A gigantic blood-red python had crept up right behind Yichuan. When he turned to see what had her spooked, all he saw was this beast that looked like a snake with a pig's head glaring right at him. Totally unfazed, he muttered, "What's your deal? I only took one of your flowers. Don't tell me you're going to be a cheapskate about it." The blood serpent just froze. It had never encountered a human with this much guts before. Snagging the goods was all it could think about. So Yichuan spun around and bolted. He shouted back to Nanan, "Don't just stand there, do something." Without waiting, Nanan snatched the Thunderfire orb, and like a second later, she launched it as hard as she could. A massive explosion erupted, and the shockwave literally knocked Yichuan off his feet. It was a totally reckless move, injuring the enemy 1,000 while costing herself 800. But since the blood serpent was caught right in the blast, it was demolished. Its massive body shook for a moment before it plummeted right off the cliff. Yichuan handed her the blood crystal blossom he just snagged. Nanan's eyes practically sparkled. Regular blood moonflowers just slow aging down, but this twin-petal blood crystal flower, it's like the fountain of youth. Seriously, who wouldn't want that? Once he realized how potent it was, Yichuan knew he had to snag another one for his mom. But to Nanan, it